The film begins in the United States, where we learn that a bomb-making experiment went awry. The result was a devastating explosion, destroying the entire city. Almost everyone in the city was killed. But sometime later, they discovered that the dead were coming back to life. Their minds were dead, but they were still alive. They were called undead, meaning the people there were turning into zombies. This news caused widespread panic. So the government formed a team of doctors and sent them to volunteer at the site of the explosion to treat the few survivors and conduct research on those who had died and come back to life, or become zombies. Among this team of researchers, we also see Eva, who had volunteered to the military. And we learn the reason is that Eva's husband was a military officer who went missing in the same blast, and she wants to find him. Finally, all these doctors arrive by flight, where the military first explains their duties. They were to examine all the dead bodies there, and if they felt any movement, they were to inform the army. All these doctors were allowed to roam the city, except for one hotel which was far away from the city, and the reason was unknown to them. Soon, they begin their work and spread throughout the city. They see numerous dead bodies everywhere, their faces completely blackened by blue. The bodies were in such a state that they could not bear to look at them. Eva's partner abandons the mission right then and there. But Eva cannot abandon the mission because she has come here to find her husband. Therefore, she now chooses another partner. Clay was much braver than any of the other partners Eva had met before. He didn't seem at all offended by the sight of the corpses, and when Eva asked him the reason behind all this, he replied, "This is our job. If we start fearing these things, our work won't be done." One by one, they went to each house, verifying the presence of living corpses. Many days had passed and they had searched almost the entire city. But Eva hadn't heard from her husband. She opened the map and discovered that they hadn't checked the south side yet, and that she might find her husband in the south side. But the south side was completely closed because the hotel there had been sealed. Everyone had even forbidden anyone from going there. When a girl learns of his intentions, Vern tells her, "Don't do this, Eva, don't go south. I've heard that anyone found alive in the south will be killed by the commanders without a second thought. They won't even consider whether they're a legitimate commander, part of their team, or a doctor." She tells the girl, "Please help me come with me," but she refuses. Outside there was Riley's Jeep, which she could have used to escape. However, in front of the Jeep she saw Katie, Riley's wife, who was now a zombie, staring at her angrily. But she didn't do anything to Eva, giving Eva the opportunity to escape. After traveling a considerable distance, her car breaks down, and she begins to move forward with an axe. Along the way she encounters a man who has also become a zombie and is hungry. He was about to attack Eva, but Eva attacked him with the axe and killed him. After walking for a long time, she was completely exhausted and saw an empty bus where she decided to rest. After resting for a while, she heard some movement outside the bus. When he got off the bus, he saw a zombie. But this zombie wasn't like the other zombies. This zombie seemed to be in his senses. At the time, he was digging a grave, and at that moment his corpse was lying next to the zombie. The corpse's face bore a striking resemblance to his. Eva realized that it was definitely her son, and that he wanted to bury him. Eva began helping him, realizing that although this man had become a zombie, some trace of humanity remained within him, and his mind was in control. This realization awakened another hope in Eva. Even if her husband had become such a zombie, she could still be with him. With this renewed courage, she resumed her journey and finally reached the hotel, her destination. Inside the hotel, she encountered numerous zombies, but she escaped because they were blocked by bulletproof glass. Eva then suffered a heart attack behind a door and she began to gasp. But the twist was revealed. It wasn't a zombie but Clay. Yes, Clay, who everyone thought was killed by Riley, was alive and here. Eva is overjoyed to see him and hugs him. They leave the resort and Eva asks Clay, "Why did you leave me and come here?" Clay tells her, "I didn't leave you here. I knew Riley was trying to force himself on you. And Riley also understood that he couldn't do anything to you with me around. That's why he tried to kill me and I escaped. I expected you to kill Riley and come to this hotel. That's why I came to this hotel, so I could stay and wait for you. And look, exactly as I thought, you're here with me today." Hearing Clay's story, Eva breaks down in tears. Through the tears, she tells Clay that she searched the entire city, but she couldn't find any trace of her husband. "I mean, he's dead." She had now accepted his death and was crying bitterly. They began their journey back, and on the way, they encountered Katie, Riley's wife, who had become a zombie and was pregnant. She repeatedly appeared before Eva, but she refused to kill her because she wanted to tell Eva something, to explain something. She was one of those zombies who, even in their guise, were somehow human, with a functioning mind. In reality, she wanted Eva to raise her child. By this time, she had given birth to her child and handed it over to Eva. We are not shown the child, But the movie ends with the suspense of whether the child was a full-fledged human being or a zombie, and what would it become when it grew up. With all these questions, the movie story ends here. So the next day, Eva asks Clay for help. Clay understands that if he doesn't go with Eva, Eva might decide to go alone and do something terrible to herself. He tells Eva, "We'll go there, but we won't leave without a plan. First, we'll have to go secretly, and second, we'll need a vehicle to get us there." Eva agrees, and at night they sneak into a garage where they're searching for a bike. Just then, Eva hears something rattling. Clay thought it might be a rat or something, but Eva opens the cupboard. Inside was a terrifying-looking girl. Black blood oozed from her eyes, her teeth were yellow, and a strange darkness shone before her. Suddenly, the girl began to move and chatter. It didn't take long for Eva to realize she had become a zombie. Before she could do anything, Eva and she escaped. Finally, after escaping the zombie, their journey began. The others saw that the zombie was severely deaf. They couldn't go further at this time, so Clay told her they should stay in a house and head south at night when the security here would ease. Eva agreed, and they entered a house. Eva asked Eva, "Why did you accept my help?" Before Clay could answer, they were taken away. They hear a strange noise. They discover a zombie charging forward, intent on killing them. They had nothing to defend themselves at the time, no gun, no knife. They were terrified, unable to escape, as the commanders would have killed them as soon as they saw them. They faced a well-like situation, a ditch behind. But luck prevails, and a commander arrives and kills the zombie. Surprised to find them both alive, he asks them how they got there. She doesn't lie, telling the officer that she arrived looking for her husband, and that she needs to go south to find the resort, which is forbidden to anyone. "That's my last hope," she says. Officer Riley Goen doesn't believe them and tells them, "I want to talk to you two alone." He locks Eva in a room and takes Clay away. Hours pass, but neither Clay nor the officer returns. Eva realizes that the officer deceived them. After some more time, Riley arrives and lies to Eva, saying he sent Clay away with his companions because his health is deteriorating. Eva knew Riley was lying, but at that moment she couldn't react. Riley tells Eva, "I heard what you both said and I trust you to go to that hotel. I will take you there, but I have one condition. You will do whatever I tell you to do on the way." Eva had no option but to refuse. Eva joins Riley in his jeep. After a short journey, it becomes nightfall, and Riley tells Eva that they should stay at their house for the night and continue their journey in the morning. "Look, if we get chased by a ton of zombies during the night, and we survive and don't even make it to the hotel," she says. Eva agrees, and Riley takes her home. He explains that even before the blast, he used to live here with his wife. It was his wife's house, the one he loved very much. She was affected by the blast, and because of that, she has now become a zombie. His wife was also about to become a mother. Riley's words reveal that he has gone mad due to the shock of his wife becoming a zombie. He is obsessed with starting a family and wants to marry someone. It didn't take long for Eva to realize that Riley had trapped her and brought her here and wanted to marry her, and that too by force. When Riley tried to force himself on her, Eva refused, angrily stormed out. She ran to the garage and found Riley already prepared. She couldn't escape because Riley had already tied up 4 zombies who would kill her before she could escape. Riley also arrived, searching for Eva. Eva was forced to confront Riley, and at this moment Neva confessed that she was ready to marry Riley. Riley was overjoyed. At this moment 4 zombies were chasing Eva as if Riley could control them. He leads them away from Eva, and when he escapes after rescuing her, Eva takes the opportunity to kill him with his own gun and escape.